Our month of Carolween continues.
With one of my favorite movies, incidentally.
Oh, well, there you go. We are kicking it. We're knocking it out of the park here. We're back on Refried Scenes. This is for everybody.
Yes.
This is for all y'all out there, all you people in pop regal world, or if you're just jonesing to listen to some horror movies, podcasting. We're talking Evil Dead today, right?
Evil Dead, yes.
I guess we should introduce ourselves.
Oh, hi. I'm Carol.
Hi, Carol. I'm Daryl. Nice to meet you.
Have we met before?
We actually we booked the same podcast time. You came in to talk about Evil Dead, and I came in to talk about Evil Dead. So we just combined our powers.
There we go.
There it is.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Activate. If you've never listened to an episode of Refried Scenes, well, most of our shows are over on our Patreon, Behind the Wall, patreon.com/PopRegalPodcast. And we talk original movies and their remakes. Yes, an attempt to see how often do these remakes hold up. And I feel like our track record is mostly we lean towards the original.
The original. It's rare that we go for the remake.
I still need to sit down and make a table of who's chosen what. Yeah.
I think I went for the remake for Magnificent Seven, but you went for the original.
I most certainly did. I can't think of
I can't think of another one where we went for the remake.
I think I might have gone for the Body Snatchers. I can't remember for.
No, we both went original for Body Snatchers. No, we both went remake for Body Snatchers because we did the '79 version. Yes, with Donald Sutherland. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are there any? So we've been taking this month of October because this is Carolween. This is the most wonderful time of the year for you to talk about some original horror movies and their remakes. Have we gone with any remakes of these? I don't think we have.
No.
Nope. We've been sticking all original. Nope. I did for the Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. That technically wasn't in October. That was September.
That was our September. Oh, we just been rocking it out. We've been hoarding it up, man.
Well, Friday the 13th was in September, so we had to do Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's true.
And you did go for the remake, though.
I did. I told somebody the other day, I have not watched this many horror movies in my life. Carol Cole's influence strikes again.
Yes.
We're talking Evil Dead today.
Yes. So we did Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2, yes.
And then the remake, The Evil Dead.
Fede Alvarez joined, yes.
Yeah.
We got anything to talk about before we jump into this?
No, I think we decided on Evil Dead 2 because we wanted to give Sam Raimi his best possible Evil Dead.
Yeah. And I feel like, they kind of summarize one for you in about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yes, with a very kind of funny scene. Because the first Evil Dead, wasn't as humorous.
No.
Unless you're counting Bruce Campbell's hair. Because he had some Mo Howard shit going on there.
I don't know what he was doing with that hair.
But Bruce, that was not your hair. But yeah, so the first Evil Dead was more straight horror, just with no budget.
No budget whatsoever. They did the best they could.
And it's not terrible for the budget they had. There's some creepy scenes.
Right.
But Evil Dead 2, he had a bigger budget. He had $3.6 million.
Ooh.
I know. That's like hard cash for a 1987 horror movie.
Yeah. I feel like you just showed them Evil Dead 1 and they're like, we're supposed to finance your second? I'm like, yeah, but this is what I made it on. And they're like, oh, you did this with this?
Okay, yeah.
All right, here's $3 million.
I want to say that George Harrison...
The Beatles, George Harrison?
Produced this.
I believe that. Because what else is George going to do with all that Beatles money?
Yeah, I know he produced the Monty Python films.
Yes, he did. That I remember him for.
But I may be wrong on that one. But I know that, it was Joel and Ethan Coen.
Oh, it was a Coen.
Yeah, they did the roundabout thing. Renaissance Pictures, which I think that's why I got confused, because there is another Renaissance Pictures. Produced this, but I think this is the only film that it produced.
Okay.
It's a weird history.
They're producing, they're like, maybe this is.
I highly recommend watching this with the commentary. If you're able to find a DVD with a commentary, it's got Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, and another one of the producers.
I don't think mine has commentary.
Yeah, mine does.
Yeah.
Only I didn't watch Evil Dead 2 from my DVD because I couldn't find it, which made me sad.
Terrible.
Because I did want to watch it again with the commentary. But I highly recommend the commentary because Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi have known each other since
years.
Junior high. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so they're the Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes of the horror world.
Yes, and Sam Raimi obviously takes great pleasure every time Bruce Campbell gets hurt.
Because what are friends for?
Which is often.
Yes, quite often. Quite often.
So 1987, Evil Dead 2, they basically summarized the first film in the first 10 minutes.
Right. It's a
Because
quick
this isn't
recap.
technically a sequel.
No.
Unless Ash Williams is so stupid that he's going to bring another girlfriend to this. But it is Ash Williams.
It is Ash Williams again.
And he is not the sharpest tool in the shed.
You're not wrong there.
So
You're not wrong there.
He might have just said, hey, the cabin's free.
It's free. Why is the cabin free? Can't remember. Let's
Can't
go
remember.
back.
He brings his girlfriend Linda to the cabin. And
Was her name Linda in the first movie?
I don't believe so.
Okay, cool.
He just dates Linda's and brings them to the cabin to die.
Yeah, a very repetitive process in the life.
Yes. So brings her to the cabin where they have a nice little piano dance session, and he gives her a present of a magnifying glass. Which, if you listen to the commentary, it's because that's the only thing they could find in a gas station that was next to it. They were trying to find something nice that looked like it would be a nice romantic present, and that's the only thing they could find in the gas station near the production.
Well, wow. Again, yeah, in 1980, something like shopping malls weren't big back then.
Yeah,
There's no
and
Amazon.
this cabin was in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, yeah, I guess they didn't
I think
really.
it was in Tennessee. Well, they filmed it in Tennessee and North Carolina.
Didn't really think that all the way through. Did
No,
they? Yeah.
so she's got this goofy little magnifying glass.
I just always assumed because the budget was so cheap.
It's just
They just
a
that's what you
Cracker
get
Jack
them
box.
for.
I found this in my Cracker Jack today. We're going to use it on the film.
I watched this movie for the first time, I think, at 19. Someone was like, oh, you got to watch this movie. And he pulls it out, and I was like, what cheap shit is this? Even my broke ass at 19 knew, come on, you got to come with better game than that, man.
So he gives her the magnifying glass, and they have a nice little... And then he goes to a room, because they don't explain how he knows this cabin is empty.
Right.
He just knows the cabin's empty.
Yeah.
And he goes into the next room and finds a tape recorder, a reel-to-reel. Children, for those of you, a reel-to-reel.
My favorite Carol Cole segment.
Back before a CD, we had this thing called tape. You had reel-to-reels, and then you had cassettes, which were smaller versions of reel-to-reels.
You might remember your older brother having to stick a pencil in there and turning it.
Yeah.
Get that film back in there. Get that ribbon.
So he turns on next to the damn tape recorder is the
Book of the Dead. Yeah.
Because you get the opening scene where the opening scene tells you the Necronomicon.
Yeah, it's all written in blood. Rivers of blood.
Written in blood and what published in skin or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
It's the covers in skin or
covers in
whatever.
skin.
It's this,
This is where it doesn't hold up for me, because as soon as he sees it, like, he stops and stares as if he recognizes what it is.
that's the thing. Is like,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
And then it
does he
pans
just
over to
forget the entire first movie?
What's going on
Did he
here?
go back to S-Mart and just forget?
It's like some Field of Dreams shit. It's like once he finally escaped out,
It's just he doesn't remember.
he just doesn't remember.
But he turns on the tape and it immediately is at the part where the professor is reading the incantation.
Right? Like, imagine that. So, like, I want to know who before it stopped
Just
it right
stopped
before.
it right. It had to have been the Deadites, which
That
they're
had
not
to
called the Deadites in this film at all.
No, not yet. They're not.
I don't even think they're called that in the remake. They don't name them in the remake.
They don't name them in
Yeah.
there. It's just some shit you don't want to fuck with. In the
Right.
remake.
So he turns on the tape recorder and it's this professor reading the book. Mm-hmm. And he reads this incantation that summons
The
evil
Kandarian
spirits.
demon.
Yes, the Kandarian demons.
Yeah.
And that thing comes zooming. It does a very Sam Raimi shot.
Very
This
Sam
is
Raimi shot.
Sam Raimi zooming through the forest, goes through the window, and immediately possesses Linda.
Takes out Linda quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then it's all downhill from
It's
poor
all down
Ash.
there from there.
Nothing looks up in this movie.
No, because she immediately turns into a demon and attacks him. He picks up the shovel and
just goes to work, man. Because look, I 100% fully support Ash Williams
support
in
the
this movie.
decapitation because she's attacking him. Mm-hmm. But then he immediately buries her.
What else you gonna do?
It
Honestly.
was like a cross from Sticks.
Oh, that's love, Carol.
It was like he had this planned out. It's like, okay, when she turns, I'm just going to mark her.
This rocky soil right here. Gonna throw this cross together real quick.
So he buries Linda, goes back to the house, and has a moment with her magnifying glass.
The thing cost me $7.
But she's not dead yet.
Somewhere.
She's not quite dead yet because she comes back.
She comes back from the dead, man. Head rolling down her shoulders.
Head rolling. We get some stop animation.
Yeah, some fancy choreography here.
Yes.
In the dance sequence.
With the Barbie head.
With the Barbie head.
High definition is not a friend to this film. Or any film from the 80s, quite frankly.
No, not at all.
But yeah, she comes out of the grave, dances this dance, and then comes to attack him. And she turns back into Linda's like, Ash, why did you hurt me?
Yeah, don't do that. And bites his hand.
Bites his hand. Her head bites his hand and gets attached to his hand. So he's running around the cabin with the head attached to it, and he's like
just beating it on random objects,
walls, and
as you do.
Well, yeah. What else are you gonna do?
What is he gonna do?
And then he just runs out to the shed and puts her head in a vice grip.
Yeah, the old vice grip there. That'll take care of this.
And then chainsaws her head in.
Yeah. The body coming in, the headless body coming in with the chain, because he tries to go for the chains.
He goes for the chainsaw and it's missing, and then the headless body comes in with the chainsaw. Yeah. That's actually some not bad puppetry work there.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he gets the chainsaw.
Takes her out.
And takes out the head. Blood everywhere.
As you do. Wait, of course.
There's going to be blood everywhere in this film. Just bucket. That's where the $3.6 million was spent.
We need $3 million of blood.
We need hair oil for Bruce. We need blood.
Sir, we have $7 left over in the budget. Oh, go get that magnifying glass.
That magnifying glass. See what you can find that looks nice.
They got it from that gas station that they stopped in the Friday the 13th remake.
So we're introduced at this point to Annie, who is the daughter of the professor and his wife. Yeah. We listened to more of the tape, and his wife apparently... Oh, no, that's when Annie shows up.
Yes, that's when they show up, yeah.
Because that's when Ted Raimi shows up in a fat suit. We are introduced to Annie, who is their daughter.
Yes.
And her boyfriend, whose name I can never freaking remember.
Because I don't think they say it once.
I don't think
film.
so.
I don't remember them ever saying her name.
Do they even have a name? It's
members only jacket guy to me.
He's like, okay, so we got Ash Williams, Annie Noby, Jake, who's the hillbilly, Bobby Joe.
Oh yeah, we know about Bobby Joe.
Ed, his name is Ed.
Okay, if you say so.
I don't think he's named in this film.
I don't think so either.
No.
Also, Sir not appearing in this film.
Yes, that's right. Members only jacket.
Members only.
He's so preppy. But he meets her at the airport because she's carrying the lost pages of the book.
Yeah, so she's been out. I assume like the whole thing was a family thing.
Yeah, they just go out together and explore old castles and bring demons back to life. Yeah,
bring demons back to life.
What are you going to do on family night?
So I guess what I'm assuming is from Evil Dead 1, they were waiting for her at the cabin probably.
Yeah.
He started doing the translations from wherever they got it, and that's what fucked this whole thing up.
Right.
He had already messaged out to her, hey, we got some shit. When you find the pages, meet us at the cabin.
Right.
And
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
This is not really spelled out.
No. Yeah, you fill in the blanks here and there.
But she's like clutching those pages to herself, and I was like, was she reading those on the plane?
I'm going to assume that she's not stupid enough.
Yeah, she's not stupid enough to just read them out
loud. She's smarter
loud.
than her parents. Yeah.
So,
I have wanted a whole adventure of how she got those pages.
That's what I would like, too. I would like, because she's actually the smartest character in the movie.
Agreed.
But Ed and Annie head off to the cabin where they meet Bobby Joe and Jake.
Yeah.
Some locals.
What Jake was doing out there, no, never quite sure.
Well, what do you think he's doing with Bobby Joe?
Oh, well, you got a good point there. I mean, woods are a weird place to do it at, and a wrecking truck or whatever he had.
We've seen so many horror films where they do it in just
whenever the mood strikes you.
Times.
Whenever the mood strikes you, man.
So they meet Jake and Bobby Joe, and Jake agrees to help them bring their stuff to the cabin because he knows the trail to the cabin.
Right.
Meanwhile, back at the cabin, Ash has tried to leave. He's
Yes.
tried to leave in his car. It is the car.
Yeah, of course, it's the Sam Raimi
The
car.
Sam Raimi car.
Uncle Ben's car.
Yes. I don't know how many of this car he's gone through.
I was wondering that when I was watching for this. I was like, how many versions of this car has he
Because
wrecked?
I think it's in all of his movies except Quick and the Dead.
Which I guess makes sense,
would-
yeah. It's actually just a car dressed up as a horse. Russell Crowe's on top of it somewhere.
I would pay money to see that.
I would take what it is.
So he's tried to leave, but the bridge is out.
Right. And so and it's been raining, so it's flooded.
Right. So how did Annie and Ed get across the bridge?
Wow,
Don't
that
think.
just blew my whole mind.
that just dawned on me. It's like they
So wait a
came in
minute.
from the Tennessee side.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
But they're going through the woods. So they're obviously taking a back path.
But
He took the road.
What hindered Annie and Ed that they had to team up with Jake and Bobby Joe? Why couldn't they go?
I think the path was they had to. There was a tree blocking the path,
Okay.
so they couldn't drive anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't. I don't know. You
No,
know what?
you
I'm
know
not
what?
even going to try and think about it or try and logic it out.
Nope, it's not gonna happen.
But anyway, he can't leave, so he drives back to the cabin where he immediately gets into a fight with his hand.
He's possessed. He's possessed by this point.
He's
right?
possessed. Well, partially, yeah, because
Partially.
he turns. He get, oh God.
He got possessed at the right possible time because the sun was coming
We
up.
missed the part where he got torn through the woods because this was the part in the commentary where Sam Raimi was just cackling with glee because Bruce Campbell is like attached to this winch and they're pulling him through the woods and they're spinning him around.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually an incredibly physical performance by Bruce Campbell.
It is.
It's just insane.
There's a lot of stuff he does physically that's going on.
And
falling downstairs.
falling downstairs, flipping over, hitting himself in the head. But yeah, he gets possessed, but the sun comes up and he goes back to ash.
Yeah, because the nighttime is when these things
When
are
these things
the most
really come
potent.
out. Yeah. And so he goes back to the cabin and the cabin starts fucking with him because the deer comes to
Deer.
life, starts laughing at it. Oh, God, that deer freaks me
That
out.
deer, that and the fucking lamp, man.
Yeah. Just everything's laughing at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fine. And then he tacks himself through the mirror.
That is a great shot.
That is actually really good.
Yeah, that is a great shot.
And then his hand starts attacking him.
Right.
And just beating the shit out of him, just breaking dishes over his head
I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. But
and hitting himself in the face. And then he knocks out, and his hand crawls, just trying to crawl to a
trying to
meat
crawl
cleaver.
yeah, that's what it is, a cleaver.
And but nope.
Ashes. He's playing dead. He's
playing
playing.
dead.
Was it playing
then-
Skunky or whatever?
Yeah. Then he wakes up and
Stabs
starts
himself.
stabs himself in the hand, and then pulls that chainsaw out. It's like, who's laughing now? And
And
chops his
of
head
course, the book they lay on top of the can to trap it is A Farewell to Arms.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, how clever they think they are.
So Annie, Jake, Ed, God, I'm not going to remember that dude's name, and Baba Joe.
Bobby Joe, how before you go on, how proud is Jake that he managed to get a woman like Bobby Joe? Because he saddles up with that shit-eating grin
He's
like,
insanely proud.
this is my woman right here.
That's right. She got all her teeth.
Yeah. Him, meanwhile, ugh.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
Bobby
he
Joe,
is-
you could have done better.
It's so much better. Get out of the town,
Yeah, please
Bobby
do.
Joe. You're not a bad looking girl for now. They all get to the cabin, and Annie immediately believes that Ash has killed her parents.
Yeah, because they get it there right as the cabin is just finishing fucking
Just
with
finishing
him,
fucking with him.
and he shoots through the door.
Right, he shoots Bobby Joe. He nicks
Yeah,
Bobby
nicks
Joe.
Bobby Joe, and they come in swinging.
Yeah, and they throw him in the basement.
That's that scene of him like landing on the stairs. I was like, that does not look comfortable.
He actually, I believe that's where he hurt his back. No, it was probably pulling through there's a couple of times where Bruce Campbell says, yeah, I really wrenched my back here. I'm like, yeah,
I believe
dude,
it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
But,
yeah, that's not where you want to be at this moment. Is in that
No,
basement.
throw him in the basement, and then she finds a tape recorder and continues to listen. And then her father says that her mother
Yes,
turned,
has
Henrietta,
become host of kind of
has become a host, and that he buried her in
the
this
earthen cellar. Yeah. And then she pops up right on cue.
Right on cue.
What's in my fruit cellar? Someone with a fresh soul.
And this is where Ted Raimi shows up in the Henrietta suit.
I fucking love this outfit, man.
This is awesome.
Just bloated and gross.
It's really disgusting. And again, going back to the commentary, because there's a couple of times where you see water pouring out of a like little rip in the Henrietta suit. And Sam Raimi's like, that's Ted's sweat, because I wouldn't let him take the suit off.
Horrible. He's a horrible person, Sam Raimi.
He's a horrible person.
He makes movies solely to put friends and family through torture.
I think so. Yeah. I think he just likes to torture.
And then he rips all the benefits of the. You got to pay $1 million to do
Stand
this.
behind the camera like you guys get tortured. But Henrietta pops out of the ground, and they get Ash out of the cellar.
Grab him by the head, which is a very great tense scene.
Yes, it is actually. And Ed is bitten.
Yeah, that's where Ed gets. I think he's bitten on the foot or something like that.
He's on the foot, yeah. Because she grabs his feet and tries to pull him down, and then bites his ankle or something, and then throws him across the room. Everybody's thrown across the room.
Yeah, this is the scene where everybody gets fucked up.
Everybody just gets thrown around, and then Ed turns. And this is actually some really good makeup.
Yeah.
This is just a scrunched face. It's like, it really looks...
All that's left, I don't even really recognize was the blonde hair.
It's the blonde hair and the members only check.
And that's where we get the dead mind on. Dead mind on.
Yeah, and he starts to eat Bobby Joe's hair.
That kills me. I don't know why, but he just takes a chunk and
takes
chows down.
Chunk of her hair out, and then Ash shows up with the chainsaw, and...
This is Ash hero moment right here.
Yeah, it just goop everywhere.
See, that is another reason why I'm led to believe that Ash has been through this before, because everyone panics except for Ash. Yeah, because he's like, I've been here before.
Maybe he's just stupid enough to say, hey, that cabin's free.
Yeah, there's no way this could happen twice, right?
So Ed's down. Ed's gone.
Ed's out. I forgot how they take Ed out.
He chainsaws him. Yeah, he chainsaws him. And then Annie realizes that Ash is kind of a good guy.
Yeah.
But they determine her father appears as a vision and says you need to bring it to the
physical world.
There's like these 2 incantations you have to do. One brings it to a physical form, and then one dispels it back to the past. And then there's this picture in her
lovely
setup of this man, he's from the 1300s. He was the man that came to banish evil. Did a terrible job of it.
Yeah, he did a terrible job of it. Yeah, you think
so?
Yeah. It's strange enough, he's wearing what you're wearing right now. Ash.
Yeah,
How weird is that?
Missing a hand.
Weird that.
That's weird.
Is that the same scene where it's like, I just felt like somebody walked over my grave?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This one is a really nice setup, actually.
It's a great setup.
And she goes, Bobby Joe freaks out because the house starts fucking with him again.
Yeah.
And Henrietta starts popping out from the cellar, trying to get Annie. She starts singing to Annie.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
And Bobby Joe freaks out and runs out into the woods.
And you know what? Fair. That's a fair reaction.
I probably would have done that a long time ago, Bobby Joe. She doesn't get very far. A tree eats her.
Yeah. We saw what that tree did in the first movie.
Yeah, this is a tamed down version of the tree.
Yeah.
From both of the Evil Deads, I should say, because the remake has the infamous tree scene too.
True.
So this is a tamed down version of the tree scene, but she is attacked by the trees, and I'm assuming she's just eaten by the trees because you don't see Bobby Joe anymore.
Yeah, because you see her kind of get dragged through the puddles and whatnot.
And I think in the end, she's one of the faces that pops out of the monster.
Oh, she is. Yeah, she is. The one that's right there at the door.
Yeah.
And the tree eats her. And
but
Bobby Joe!
Jake loses it.
Yeah.
Wants to go find Bobby Joe. Takes the pages that they need and throws them in the cellar.
Which is a dick move. Like,
really?
Why?
Come on, dude.
Oh, hey, I think we've just found out how to stop all this. Fuck all that.
No, we're going to go get Bobby Joe.
Yeah. Go look, you didn't throw him in the fire.
Then you're treated to 2 minutes of Jake screaming, Bobby Joe.
Yeah, that went on a little bit longer. It just ratcheted up more and more and more until he's just at the top of his lungs.
And then it's nighttime again, and Ash turns.
Yeah.
And he picks up Jake and just pitches him into a tree.
Yeah, he does. Head first into that bad boy.
And then chases Annie back to the house. Annie grabs a big steak.
I don't know what
the
that
fuck
is.
this? It looks like a spine bone from an animal that's been turned into a knife.
I assume is something else they found along with the book.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
But it's not good either way. But
or something that Andy brought along with him.
it could be. You know,
Who knows?
they didn't have TSA at that point. She could have taken anything onto the plane.
Yeah, pre-check, don't need it.
Yeah. So she's freaking out. She grabs this huge knife, and then the door barges in, and she just stabs, and it's Jake.
It's poor Jake. It's a great turn of events right there. You're like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. And then he falls to the ground, and then Ash comes up. This is a funny scene because Jake is lying on the ground, and this thing is just sticking in his chest, and Ash is attacking Andy, and the door just keeps hitting.
Yes, he keeps hitting. I think at one point
deeper.
she yells at Jake to shut up, and like, you're the one who ran this dude through.
She tells him shut up. He's like, because this door is hitting the damn knife.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so sorry for that man.
And then
Just want to find his girlfriend.
Henrietta grabs Jake and drags him
on
and
in.
then there's just this huge sploosh of blood. Jake was full of the blood. All of the blood was in Jake.
My blood, your blood.
Yeah. And then Ash calms down again.
Yeah, his eyes get less cloudy.
Yeah,
I'm all
because
right.
he finds the magnifying glass.
Yeah, it's cleverly shaped. It's a skull laying on the ground.
And has them, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But Annie's having none of it, and she tries to kill him with an axe.
Yeah.
Which I would too.
Yeah.
She's like, sorry, I don't know when you're going to turn again, dude. And then they all calm down. And they decide they have to go to the cellar to get the pages because Jake's an asshole.
Jake's an asshole. At this point, is
Jake's dead.
Jake's dead, yeah.
Yeah, because he finds a skeleton downstairs with a little overall.
That's right. Oh, that's right, because I think she drug him in close enough for Henrietta to scoop his ass.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all the blood she's had.
Yeah. So Ash goes downstairs because he's the hero and gets the pages of the book and gets beat to shit.
All the shit.
All
of it. All the shit got beat out of him.
Just pulled through it was the pulling when he was going up the stairs and she grabs his ankles and he just wallops on the stairs. I'm like, oh my God. Ow.
Poor man. That poor man.
But Annie starts to say the incantation and she gets to the first one, which brings it to
the physical world.
And it comes in this form of this huge ass monster.
Right. And then Cousin It shows up.
Yeah. And stabs Annie.
Which also very well played because you've long forgotten about that hand at this point.
Yeah.
That's well played.
Yeah, stabs Annie. And with her dying breath, she says the last incantation, which sucks everything into this into the portal. In this portal.
Car and all.
Yeah. Car, Ash, the tree, the monster. And he lands in the 1300s.
Yeah, and that's when the Dead
Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
No, actually, a little too early for Renaissance Festival. But yeah.
This weekend here in Charlotte.
Yeah. He lands and becomes because this demon was also stuck through with him, this flying demon, and he uses his boomstick.
Yeah, he uses the shotgun, which he thankfully had with him.
Well, it was attached to he had a nice holster. He has a nice gearing up moment, like Ripley
which
from
you get
Aliens.
in each one of those, like little montage scenes.
Where he attaches the chainsaw to the stub of his hand, and yeah. So, and suddenly he's stuck in the 1300s just in time for Army of Darkness.
All right, just in time. Watching this movie made me want to watch Army of Darkness afterwards. Yeah,
I was going to watch Army of Darkness, but then I thought, no, I want to watch the first Evil Dead first. So I probably will watch Army of Darkness later today just to get all the Evil Deads out of
It's not a bad idea. I might do that tonight, matter of fact.
I like the skeletons in Army of Darkness.
It's been forever. It's been probably like a solid 10 years since I've watched Army of Darkness. Yeah, it's such a good movie, man. It's good setup. It's good humor.
It's really good humor. I love the performance by Bruce Campbell. It's so physical. And you can tell it's him doing it. The only obvious double is the mirror scene.
Yeah, where you can't really see because the other guy's got his back to the camera.
Right. Yeah. But he obviously went through a lot doing this.
Yeah. It is an incredibly physical
There's a scene
performance.
where the Deadites are chasing him, and it's just the camera,
Yeah.
And he's running through the cabin.
That is my favorite scene in this movie.
And he just goes from room to room, and then he goes in between the walls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how big is this fucking cabin? There's like 17 rooms.
When I first watched it, it was my friend showing a couple of us this movie, and That was somebody just yelled it out as right when he went between the walls. My friend's like, "My God, there's a lot of room here on the inside than you thought it was."
TARDIS cabin there.
TARDIS cabin, yeah. From the outside, maybe 3 bedrooms. Nope, it's a mansion inside that bad boy. That is my favorite scene because he turns that corner, somehow turns the corner, and then gets into the cellar before because he comes down. He's like, "I got him." Wait a minute. There's no way he could have hidden anywhere.
And the demon is just like looking around the room.
He was like, wait, I had no idea how he managed to get underneath there so fast.
So, yeah, I love this film.
Love this film.
Which brings us to the remake.
Which brings us to 2013.
Yeah, I want to say 2013.
The Evil Dead.
The Evil Dead, yes. Oh, come on. Where is it? No, remove the 2 because you're looking for The Evil Dead. 2013, yes, indeed.
2013. The Evil Dead, directed by Fede Alvarez.
Yes.
Featuring a bunch of people.
Produced by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell.
They gave it their stamp of approval, their thumbs up. Nobody I've ever heard of.
I've heard of Jane Levy because I've seen Don't Breathe.
Ah, okay.
Where she is the star of that one as well. She plays Mia.
Okay.
The healthiest looking heroin junkie you will ever see in your life.
You're right? I was like, all right, well, she's doing all right for herself.
She's obviously not that addicted.
She's not proper junkie.
No, she is not proper junkie.
The impetus behind all this I find much better than the original Evil Dead. Like, they're here for a purpose.
Yeah, and that actually makes sense
to a degree. Until it doesn't make
sense. Until freaking what's his name? Eric. Yeah, Eric. God, dumbass Eric with his little Jesus do in his glasses and just
yeah, he's just so self-righteous and pompous.
He is the Bruce Campbell of this movie because this dude gets fucked up during
yeah. There you go, Eric.
They go to the cabin because Mia's a heroin junkie. And they want to get her clean.
Yes, and she's trying to get herself clean as well.
So, and she dumps, I don't know, a couple grand worth of heroin down
there. Man, look, if you're going to get clean, sell
that off.
There you go. That way, your clean self comes out clean on the other side, and you got a couple grand.
You can afford a rehab in a nice town.
There you go.
Not, sitting in this...
Not a shitty
cabin, which apparently belonged to their mother, who had just recently passed away. Her brother David is there with her.
Yeah, having been missing for quite some time.
Yeah, because he wasn't there when her mother died, and I'm assuming that's when she got really addicted to the heroin.
That's what I'm assuming. It's all kind of the dominoes fell.
Olivia is there. She's a nurse. She's there just to monitor the withdrawals. David's girlfriend, blonde girl, Natalie.
Yes. Blonde girl.
Is there, and then Ed, who is there. I don't know why, because...
Wait, who the fuck was Ed?
Ed's the glasses guy. Eric. Eric. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God, now I got Ed stuck in the brain from the last movie.
Ed comes back again.
Eric.
Okay, yeah. Eric is Jesus dude.
Yeah, Jesus dude. Who causes everything.
Jesus Lennon.
Yeah. Who causes everything, basically. David's there with his dog, because you can't have a horror movie without fucking killing a dog.
Yeah. Chips, man. No, Chips made it out alive.
Chips made it out alive.
Okay, cool.
Yes. But they go to the cabin to get Mia clean. And... Eric finds a book in the basement. The opening scene. We forgot the opening scene because the opening scene of this film is two dudes grabbing a girl in the forest, and she is tied up in a basement, and there's these old hillbilly people looking at the Necronomicon going, we got it, and then her father
shows up.
Throws gasoline all over her. And she's like, Daddy, I just want to go home. I want to eat your fucking soul.
Yeah. I was like, oh, boy, hold on. Excuse me. I for a half a second, I was like, maybe. I thought maybe she's going to sacrifice for something. And then they flip that perception on you. And you're like, no, she is possessed.
No, she's possessed. And they burn her alive.
Yeah, Pops wasn't having any of it.
That's one of the 3 ways you can get rid of the demon in this movie is burn.
Immolation.
Yeah, the other one is dismemberment and then burying them alive.
Yeah. Which is kind of hard to bury somebody alive if they don't want to be buried alive. Yeah.
But so Eric finds the book that these hillbillies used because Mia, going through withdrawals, she smells something bad, and they find in the basement that there's all these dead things.
Which I find interesting that why can she smell it but they can't?
I don't know.
Withdrawals does not enhance your senses.
No, it doesn't give you Spidey sense.
Yeah.
But the dog smells it too. But with that much dead shit in the basement,
You're gonna smell it.
everyone would be smelling
Yeah.
it. It would be like, you know what, this place stinks. Let's just go somewhere else. But and then when you go down to the basement and there's a bunch of dead things, wouldn't you immediately go, let's just pack everything up and go somewhere else?
To tip my hand, I have seen this movie before. I think I saw it maybe like right after it hit DVD or something like that. And then rewatching it again for this, I don't remember it being this frustrating of a movie.
It was frustrating, yeah.
Because by the end of it,
people
within like 5-10 minutes left, I was just so disgusted with every character in this movie. So many dumb decisions are made.
So many.
Yeah.
So they stick around even though there's a bunch of dead, and it looks like there's human parts down there too. I
Yes.
saw arms.
Yes.
I'm like, what the?
Why are you sticking around?
What? But Eric finds the book,
The book, yes.
and is looking through it because it's wrapped in barbed
Wire, yeah. They are going through every possible measure to warn anyone
you can't
away.
burn this thing. So he like clips all the barbed wire off and starts looking through it, and there's one page, do not say his name, and the name is all blacked out. And
He's like, no, I'm gonna pencil right over. Pull a Big Lebowski on it real quick.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna say the name out loud.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, it's so angry in this movie.
And which of course brings up the Deadites.
What do you say?
Which immediately take over Mia because she's outside being all withdrawn.
Yeah, all withdrawn.
So she goes crazy. She starts to do things like she kills the dog.
With a hammer, right?
With a hammer.
Yeah. Yeesh.
And when David goes to confront her on that, she's in the shower basically boiling herself.
Right. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, maybe we should just pack up and head to a hospital.
Right. So they pack her up and they go to head to the hospital, but they can't because the bridge is out because the river has risen.
Yeah, risen because of all the rain.
So they go back to the cabin and he's like, we'll wait for morning. It'll go down. We can cross. And
the longest night ever. And at this point, a lot of the onus is definitely on Eric. Mm-hmm. But that damn nurse didn't help out at all.
No, she
either.
didn't.
Because she was actively against taking her to the hospital, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because she showed signs of being abnormal prior to burning herself in the shower.
Right.
She showed signs of possession. She had said some weird stuff. And David's like, we need to take her to a hospital.
Yeah.
And
they're like, no.
No, we got it. We have to keep her isolated or whatever. But the nurse is the first to go because Mia
takes her ass out.
Yeah. Mia throws up blood all over her in her mouth. It's just disgusting.
That is a gross ass scene. And that's a weird way to transfer it, but we'll take it.
It works.
It works.
So they lock Olivia in the cellar. Mm-hmm. Because what else are you going to do? Jesus Christ. She's gone full dead-eyed at this point. Her eyes are brown, or her eyes are like golden, and she's saying, you're all going to die by dawn, So they throw her ass in the cellar, and Olivia goes to wash up, and then she's immediately...
What is she filing her mouth with? Is it a jagged piece of glass?
I think it's a jagged piece of glass from the mirror.
Yeah.
But Eric goes in to find her, because... movie makers, I don't need to see people peeing themselves. Just they show this. Olivia pees herself, and I'm just like, I really don't ever need to see people peeing themselves.
Unless it's in a comedy, then I'll accept it.
Unless it's I mean, The Exorcist is kinda because it's a plot.
Because she comes down the stairs and then pees right in front of everybody, right?
Yeah, it's kind of this is just.
I wonder if everybody's like doing that to homage The Exorcist.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
but she breaks her head against the mirror.
Right.
And then takes a piece of glass, and Eric comes in and goes to find her, and she's like sawing her mouth off or open.
I think she's like trying to saw a smile onto her face.
What she's doing, but half of her face is just like flayed open,
looking like an Attack on Titan.
This is where Eric starts to become the Bruce Campbell of the movie, because he slips, hits his back on the toilet.
Yeah, like, ooh, that did not look like it felt good at all.
And then she just goes crazy on him.
She gets that needle.
She grabs a needle and she's stabbing him in the face, and his glasses are blocking most of it.
Yeah.
But she's getting him in the arm and in the hand.
Yeah.
And then it lodges in his cheek.
That was
And he grabs a piece of the toilet and just whops her and then smashes her head in.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, because they were. It seemed like they were kind of dating, right? Or who was?
I don't think he was dating. I think they were just friends of Mia's.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't think they were actually dating. It's just Blonde Chick and David that were actually a couple.
Okay, cool.
But he takes the needle out of his cheek, and that was
a great shot.
That was a good shot, but it was cringing. There's a couple of spots in this movie where I was like, oh.
I do believe that's the intended effect.
Yeah, because it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
Mia bites. She starts to call for Natalie and say, "I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm lonely." And Natalie's stupid and opens the door.
Oh, Natalie.
And she gets bit in the hand.
Yep. A little shout out to Evil Dead 2 there.
She gets the there's some nods to what happens in Evil Dead 2 here.
Yeah.
She gets bit in the hand, and then her hand starts to turn.
Yeah, and that's when she takes the what do you call those?
It's an electric knife, and I could not for the life of me figure out why they had an electric knife in this cabin.
Well, because you saw them earlier, so
they were cutting the
meat, which that is a gross ass scene.
That's a
first off, that's
intense
close up.
Way underdone meat there.
Yeah, it is.
I don't mind rare, but damn.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
still breathing.
Intended purpose there. And juices are all flowing.
I don't understand why that type of meat doesn't need an electric knife. But they have an electric knife so she can saw her own arm off the kitchen.
Pretty much. They had to check off knife it, so they have it earlier in the movie.
Which she does. She saws her knife off, or she knifes her arm off.
Yeah.
Very 136 hours. And
very Franco of you.
Yes. And then her boyfriend comes in and she's like, "It's okay." She's like, "Sit down."
Yeah, and then you see like the last little bit fall off.
The last tendons just break and her arm falls on the floor. "I feel much better now." And he's taping up her arm and
with duct tape. If I remember
with duct tape. Yeah. And Eric's like, we gotta kill Mia. It's the only way to save her is to kill Mia.
He ain't wrong though. Well, actually, no. I think he's probably still wrong.
Well, he shows the 3 different ways of trying to taking him out, and we gotta burn her or dismember her or bury her alive. Which is
the other thing to say to the relative of the person you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, and only sibling and stuff. But I think at this point Natalie turns completely because she gets the nail gun.
And goes to town on both those fools, especially Eric.
Especially Eric, who gets it in the arm and the hand.
He gets it all over the body,
the cheek.
I just be okay, fine. Take
myself out. Boyfriend a couple of times in the leg.
Yeah, she gets him a couple times.
And then she's doing it to herself too. She's like,
yeah, I didn't really
putting
understand
nails in her face as well. So David picks up. He's going for like a. It's a gun. Yeah. He's trying to get the gun. And she's trying to keep him from it. And there's just a fight, but he eventually shoots her head off. And again, it's just a splatter of blood all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, I just watched this yesterday.
Yeah, it's already, because by this point, it's just those two left.
It's just those 2 left. And I know they go down to the cellar to find Mia.
They go down in the cellar to find Mia.
No, because Natalie, before she dies and after the nail gun, picks up the damn poker and hits Eric's hand, and his hand
fingers all different weird ways.
Yeah, Eric's just getting beat to shit. So
well, it's all his fault, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. David thinks he's actually dying, so he just leaves him there, and he decides he knows what he's going to do. He's going to burn the house, but then he decides, wait, I think I can do this and still save Mia. So he builds the world's worst defibrillator out of a car battery. And some hypodermic needles.
Look, you use what you can use.
And goes downstairs to get Mia.
Mm-hmm.
And Mia's completely dead-eyed at this point.
Yeah, she's all done.
Throws him around like here and there and here and there. And then Eric stumbles down.
Saves the day.
Knocks her on the head with a crowbar or something. Yeah, the
same crowbar.
And then dies.
Yeah. I was okay with this hero moment. I am not okay with the I can still save her.
Yeah.
At this point, are you trying to?
It's
no.
And at this point, the movie started to get very tedious for me.
Yeah.
Because he drags her outside, wraps her up, and buries her alive.
Yeah.
And then waits, and then digs her up. And she's dead at this point because he waits a few minutes. She's not going to live past that. And then uses the defibrillator to attempt to revive her.
Bring her back to life, yeah.
I'm not buying that would work.
No. Talking about the defibrillator itself or this whole thought process?
His whole thought process, sticking hypodermic needles into her heart and then flipping a car battery.
Yeah,
and that's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
But it does. Because we still got 20 minutes left.
What else you got left? Throw that in there too.
So Mia wakes up and she's fine. She's not dead-eyed anymore.
Which I don't understand how.
Because she died. But I don't understand that because they've been inhabiting dead bodies for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
See Eric here in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not understanding how exactly that works. It's a demon thing.
Yeah, so he goes back in there to burn the house down.
And Eric comes back as a deadite.
Yeah.
And
which, that's a good play.
That's
because I'd forgotten about him at that point,
and
too. I'd written him off already.
Yeah, and I don't even remember when he got bit. Or if he did. Who knows?
He doesn't.
Who knows?
He doesn't. Some
blood may have transferred at some point.
Maybe,
there's so much blood flying around.
No, I was about to say, well, no, because he just knocks me out, so there was no confrontation there.
No. So, but anyway, he comes back.
Yeah.
And he shoots David. Shoots him or stabs him. I think he stabs him. He stabs him. Yeah. And then David just sacrifices himself by setting the entire cabin on fire.
Yeah, he traps me outside.
Outside and sets the cabin on fire and dies. And then it starts to rain blood. Why? Because they had extra blood.
What do you want us to do with the rest of this blood, boss? I got it.
We'll just have it rain blood. And then
now had some kind of, because certain things had been happening that when Eric went back and looked at the book, like, oh shit, they're following this, and then this happened, and then this happened. So I think it was a confluence of events that gets us to the blood raining and the return of
undead Mia.
Yeah,
because she fights herself at this point, and undead Mia pops out of the grave that she had been buried in. I don't know. And they fight, and we get yet another homage to the hand scene because Mia's hand gets trapped under the truck.
Yeah.
And she just
wrenches it out.
Wrenches her wrist off. Wrenches her wrist off, which I'm thinking she's passing out in pain by this point. But no, of course not in this movie. But she continues to fight, grabs a chainsaw.
Which, my favorite part of the movie comes right here.
This is where she
grabs the chainsaw, tries to yank it, nothing happens, looks up, there's a bottle labeled chainsaw gas. I was like, oh, how convenient. That cleverly labeled bottle of chainsaw gas is sitting right there.
Chainsaws use regular gas. It's not.
Yeah, right.
It's not special.
This is chainsaw gas now. Don't put it in the car.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, chainsaw gas.
Use in case of deadites. Yeah. So she gasses up the chainsaw.
Yep.
And cuts the legs off of Evil Mia. And then chainsaws her in half.
Right.
And then, eat your soul. Eat this, bitch.
And then that's that, if I remember.
Everything sucks down into the ground.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end.
The person who should have been least likely to survive all this
survives this. And I've always wanted to write a series of books of what happened next. Because in this movie, I'm like, okay, so you have a heroin junkie who went to the cabin to get through withdrawals with 4 friends, and they're all dead.
You're fine. You're
Except
covered in blood. You're missing a hand.
I'm thinking you did it.
Yeah, right. And then
what's she gonna say?
The only way to prove that you're innocent is to go back to that cabin where the whole shit's gonna go sideways all over again. She'll probably be the only person to make it out. Like, oh, there's 2 parties you killed out here.
Yeah, because it's
jail for life.
She's going to jail.
Yeah. She might as well just build another house right on top of that cabin.
Just stay out in the woods and just hope people forget her.
Pull the Babadook and cohabitate with it. With those deadites.
But yeah, it's one of those endings where it's just like, how are you explaining that to the police?
I had the same thoughts back when I first saw Evil Dead 2. Like, he goes back to SMR, and they're like, "How's that vacation with your friends?"
Well, they're all dead.
Well, they're all dead, and I have no way of explaining this, and I'm minus a hand now.
Also, I have a girlfriend from the 1300s.
Yeah, right. Oh, I guess he doesn't have to explain it, because doesn't he wake up in the wrong time period?
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. So.
Oh, you got out of that one.
But there's a lot of horror movies where at the end of it, I'm like, how are you explaining that to the cops?
Yeah. There's a couple times I've had that same thought as well. Like,
Friday the 13th, the remake, I had the same, because they're dumping Jason's body off the pier, and I'm like, what are you doing? You got to explain.
You gotta explain all this shit.
And then we threw the big guy that killed everybody into the lake.
The evidence is down there, sir. Drag the lake. We're not dragging that fucking lake for you.
You killed everybody. We saw the altercations.
Yeah. It's always in the lake. There's a big carried
There's
away.
a dead boy from the lake.
This boy from 1987 that died out here. He's the one.
So that's where the movie ends.
Yeah, that's The Evil Dead.
The Evil Dead.
The most, what did they say in the poster? The boldest claim I've ever seen? The most terrifying film you will ever experience.
No.
Not even close.
Not even close. There's some good scenes in this one.
Yes.
This suffers. I have a problem with most of the remakes that we've watched is that when they remade Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I said this when we talked about it, they have this like sheen, this kind of patina over it.
Mm-hmm.
And it became like the horror movie color coding.
Yeah.
And every freaking remake we've watched has had this kind of color coding to it that it's like, we're a horror movie.
Right.
And this one has the same damn thing. And I'm just like...
Yeah, all the other ones were like, fuck it, this is what we got to film with.
Yeah.
This is what we got.
I think that's why I like films like Midsommar so much, because Ari Aster doesn't do color coding on his. It's like bright and sunny, and look, we're burning people alive.
Because horrible things can happen in the daytime
sunlight,
too.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm tired of that, just kind of horror movie. You know, if it's a Japanese remake, it's blue. If it's a Grindhouse remake, it's kind of gray or gold.
Yeah.
It gets film it like a normal movie.
Yeah, you might get some better results that way.
Yeah. But I'm definitely going original on this one.
Oh, yeah, by far. Evil Dead it's a classic, man.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic for a reason.
I appreciate the fact that the remake did not attempt to go for the humor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. That was kind of the reason why I was excited about it in the first place. They're going to try and play this straight. Yeah,
so
it'll be interesting to see how they play it straight. And I know I was talking about this with somebody online yesterday. In order to have a horror movie, you kind of need to have your people make some stupid mistakes to keep the plot rolling.
Every damn decision was
Every
dumb.
horrible possible decision was made here.
Just stupid.
Yeah.
And this is 2013. Nobody here has a cell phone.
That's a very good point. I assume there's shitty reception out there anyways. Or at least write it off that way. Are you getting anything? No, I'm not getting anything.
Yeah,
One
or
line.
say we deliberately left our cell phones at home so Mia wouldn't have outside stimulus.
Easy way to explain that out.
If you're going to do that to a friend and they're such a heroin junkie that you need to isolate them and they're going to go through heavy duty withdrawals, you need standby hospitalization
or take them to a hospital.
Or take them to a rehab center somewhere with trained nurses and doctors to look after them, not just Olivia.
Yeah, right.
So the whole not having any sort of backup was just, this is a dumb idea to start with.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the heart and the sentiment behind it, but it was not properly executed in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and if you're trying to play a movie straight, you kind of need to play the movie straight.
Correct.
Although I gotta say, the more that Eric got the shit beat out of him, the more I started to laugh at the film because it was just.
At some point, it did get comical. Like that man went through it. If he didn't have those glasses, man.
I probably wouldn't be able to watch that scene because I have a thing I can't watch eye trauma. But
me too.
Even the stabbing of the glasses was making me cringe. It's like oh. But this I don't know. It just didn't.
Didn't do it for me.
It didn't do anything for me, really.
So this is my second time watching that movie, and I think I'm good now.
I own this for some free. I found this in a pile of Blu-rays where I'm just like, where did I get these Blu-rays? It's like, why do I have Why do I have Noah?
Shout out to Darren Aronofsky.
I don't even like Darren Aronofsky.
Drunk Amazoning again.
I think I was. I have 47 Ronin. I'm like, that's not even good
Keanu? No.
I'm like, there's a pile of DVDs where I'm just like, oh my God, where did I get these things?
Maybe you just got them like in a bundle for like $15 for 20 below rate DVDs.
I was thinking that I had like won them in a raffle or something,
Oh, maybe
because I
that's what
had
it was.
Last House on the Left, and I detest that movie with a passion. And I'm
there
like,
you
there's
go.
no way I would actively buy Last House on the Left.
Yeah, you probably got them from somewhere.
Yeah, I was just looking at these going, well, there's some DVD space I can clear up.
So next week we end Carolween.
Carolween with Halloween.
With Halloween, the original and the Rob Zombie remake.
Because that is the actual remake.
There's an actual remake, so that should be an interesting time, and it'll be an end to all of our horror rewatching.
Yeah.
Somebody online yesterday is like, hey, when you guys done doing all the horror joints?
It's October. Come on, cut me some slack.
Yeah. Prepping for our Cinnamon movie show that we're doing next week. We're trying to figure out what's our topic going to be, and Doug Davison was like, oh, well, let's do top 5 best horror. And I was like, God damn it. I'm so tired of this month. Tired of all this horror.
I watch them all year, so it's not like
it just seems like as soon as it switches from September 30th to October 1st, everybody's like, all the horror movies, all the horror.
I will say I am watching some horror movies I would not watch normally.
Okay.
Like, these remakes would not like enter my DVD player.
Yeah. Any other time.
Any other time, but you know, I would occasionally watch Texas Chainsaw, but I gotta be in a correct mood to watch that film.
Yeah, it's just not like, you know, today's the day.
Yeah, of the ones we've done, the one I watch on regular rotation is probably Poltergeist.
Okay.
Because I actually enjoy that film.
That's a good
film.
Good movie.
So.
Yeah. All right. So we will see you back next week for the very last one. This will be for This be for everybody. Well, this one's for everybody too, right? Yeah. So you get like 3 free of these in a month. So, you know, enjoy them. Stop complaining.
Yeah. And then go to Patreon.
Yeah, and then go to Patreon.
Subscribe and listen to the ones you can't listen to for free.
Boom. Check out War of the Worlds and Body Snatchers.
Dawn of the
Dead and all the other stuff we've done.
The Fly?
Yeah. The Fly. And then, I guess next episode we'll reveal how we plan on picking our movies for at least November, because I think we have a December plan of some sort.
And unfortunately, it is a horror movie.
Refried scenes. All right, you guys take it easy and have a good one out there.